Some scholars report that monotheism is the oldest religious system in the history of mankind. The matter is that the names used by religious people are diverse and different. Nevertheless, according to Ibn Arabi, all the names refer to the same ultimate reality. First of all, we have to distinguish between the name and the named, sign and something signified, symbol and the thing symbolized. We can say that God is a name for God. Each individual knows God in very various ways and states, so that one mentions God's name as he knows God. Even one person can mention God's name differently in his other states. It is said in the Quran, say call upon Allah or call upon Ar-Rahman. Whichever you call upon, to him belong the most beautiful names. As we discussed in the episode Names and Essence, Ibn Arabi asserts that on the one hand the divine names refer to his essence, whereas on the other the names affirm their respective realities. Muslims in general know that there are 99 beautiful names of God. Ibn Arabi mentions the divine names numbering 300 so. However, both 99 and 300 are only the names of God listed in the Quranic verses. In essence, the divine names are truly unlimited because the relationships of al-haq with the whole cosmos are also unlimited. Although the divine names are many and each name refers to its own reality, all of them inevitably refer to the one himself. Ibn Arabi explains, this is what is meant by Abul Qasim bin Qasi when he says in his book al-adyan that every divine name carries in itself all the divine names and all their properties. This because every name indicates both the essence and the particular meaning of which it is the name, and which is especially required by the latter. Thus, every single name, insofar as it points to the essence, contains all the names, but insofar as it points to its own proper meaning, is different from all the rest, like Lord, Creator or Giver of the forms, etc. The name, in short, is the same as the object named in regard to the essence, but it is not the same as the object named in regard to its own particular meaning. Hence, we comprehend that each divine name carries its own meaning or reality because it is very impossible that the all-forgiving is the same as the retaliator. The outward is the inward. Nonetheless, certainly we have known that although contradictory to each other, all names refer only to the object named, namely God himself. In Fusus, Ibn Arabi asserts, this becomes clear to you through the notion that each name is identical to another in essence, and through the notion that each name differs from another. With respect to the essence, each name is al-haq, and with respect to the otherness, it is the imagined al-haq which concerns us. The term al-haq mutakhayyar refers to the entire cosmos or the many. The many, as we have known, are forms of the self-manifestation of the One according to the divine names. In other words, the existence of the One can be imagined in the form of his names in the whole cosmos, and God is the One to whom all the names refer. In this respect, Ibn Arabi describes that the names of the cosmos are a counterpart to the divine names. All divine names are realities caused by the relationships between al-haq and the whole cosmos. In this context, as we have seen, all names are the essence itself, if viewed from the perspective of the various special relationships engendered by the tajalli of al-haq. Ibn Arabi says, once God has created the cosmos, we see that it possesses diverse planes and realities. Each of these demands a specific relationship with al-haq. When he sends his messengers, one of the things he sends with them because of those relationships were the names by which he is named for the sake of his creatures. Any name that is called by every believer in any religion is none but al-haq, whatever the names are. Quotes, in respect of the fact that al-haq is the speaker, he mentions himself by names. These names themselves have names with us in the language of every speaker. In the Arabic language, the name by which he named himself in respect of being the speaker is Allah. In Persian, Khudai. In Ethiopian, Waq. In the tongue of the Fangs is Creator, and so on in every language. These are the names of those names. They are many because of the plurality of relationships. not only diverse beliefs or doctrines, but even each person mentions divine names differently. For example, "O the Helper" at one time, and "O the Most Loving" at another time, according to his states and relation with al-haq. The names are many due to the effects we experience within ourselves, but the object named is only one. Quote, "God knows names in respect of the fact that he knows all objects of knowledge, whereas we know names through the variety of their effects on us. We name him such and such through the effects of what we find within ourselves. So the effects are multiple within us. Hence the names are multiple, while God is named by them. So they are attributed to him, but he doesn't become multiple in himself through them." Shakespeare said, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by any other name would smell as sweet." It is strange if two persons have a dispute over a name, which is the different names essentially denotes one object referred to by both persons. Ibn Arabi maintains, "All religions brought notions dominated by imagination. They did not free al-haq from any attribute through which he manifests himself. All religions said and brought the same ideas concerning God. The religious communities act accordingly, and as a result, God bestowed on them his self-manifestation." If we perceive the one in the many, we cannot escape the ontological fact that the diversity of the names we call always refers to the one, and eventually we can perceive the many to be immersed in the one. Sometimes we call you wine, sometimes goblet, sometimes we call you cone, and sometimes snare. There is no letter save your name on the tablet of the word. Now, by which name shall we call you? In the name of him who has no name, who appears by whatever name you will call him. Sometimes I call you cypress, sometimes moon, and sometimes musketeer, fallen in the snare. Now, tell me, friend, which one do you prefer? For out of jealousy, I'll hide your name. See you in the comment.